who do we have next? Chris? Is it? I think I've talked to Chris before.
Yes, this is the third time calling in.
Oh,
Hey,
awesome.
Chris.
At your live stream, your quality live stream. Okay. This is the French and Indian War, Western Pennsylvania. At the time, in this mid 18th century, it was also known, interestingly, as South Quebec. Pittsburgh area was also South Quebec. Okay. A Colonel, George Washington, supernaturally preserved in battle by a God in heaven to assure the establishment of the United States of America, and then my editorializing, where we can live in liberty. Okay.
Wait.
Virginia Royal at the time.
Wait. I'm sorry.
General Braddock.
I'm going to interrupt really quick. I think that I'm lost, and I'd like to not get more lost. Are you saying that?
The next.
Hold on.
Are you? I was going to say he was. An Indian shot at him 11 times, and he didn't go down.
What we'd really like to do is take one claim that you have, one supernatural claim of any kind, and let's talk about that one thing, because it's way too much to tackle a bunch of different things at one time.
This was a preamble to the one battle, one event, one Indian, one Colonel Washington.
All
right. A young Virginia Royal at the time. He was aide de camp to General Braddock, meaning this is George Washington fighting with New England against the French. Okay, at the British defeat of the battle.
Are we taking a history lesson?
On the rivers in Pittsburgh.
I'm just confused what we're getting at.
Okay.
What are you explaining?
So Chris, let's
I'm reading it quickly just as a preamble.
Preamble.
The supernatural claim is how Indian Chief Red Hawk claimed to have shot at Colonel Washington 11 times, flintlock musket, I was going to say rifle, not a musket. So I'm speaking of balance here. It's a musket. Rifles are more accurate.
We don't need to.
But did not succeed in killing him. My source is both these individuals occur in a database, the National Archives.
Well, no, we don't need to get into this.
George Washington. What
is your claim?
Writes to his brother of the event.
Chris, what is your claim? Himself. Chris, we don't need a preamble or sources yet. First, we'd like to start with what is your claim?
Well, I did say, maybe too quickly because I was saying it as an introduction, that he was supernaturally preserved in battle at Colonel Washington.
So your claim is that you're convinced that General Washington was preserved in battle.
At the beginning. Yeah, I said it too quick at the beginning, maybe. Yeah, a Colonel George Washington supernaturally preserved in battle.
Okay. What does that mean? Supernaturally preserved.
God. I said a God.
God what?
A God in heaven. Yeah, preserved.
What about it? What does supernaturally preserved mean?
That done by a God.
What is done by a God though? What is it? Is what she's wanting to know. What is supernaturally preserved? Not how is something supernaturally preserved, but what is it?
Like if I was to preserve some pickles, I would put them in a jar with vinegar. What is supernatural preservation?
Yeah, I know maybe a cousin worked that would be he persevered in battle, but that would be his own initiative. I use the word preserved. If you do a Google search, preserved in battle, you get God helping someone in battle, and it's 300,000.
So it is. So your claim is only that you believe that God was with him when he fought battle.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, and I said too that the reason why is to create eventually the Declaration of Independence, United States of America.
So why? So you're convinced because good things happened to George Washington that George Washington had God with him, correct?
God was protecting him, like shielding him from bullets and making sure that he went on to fulfill his destiny.
Yeah, I'm not going to read his letter to his brother.
No. I'm just going to say real quick before you go into details about that. Before we talk about anything that a God does or achieves, we will have to establish what a God is first. Is that all right with you?
Yes. Does a God exist? I did write.
No. Hold on. I didn't ask if God exists.
I did write a Google document about
real quick,
how
before we
God
move
exists.
on, I'd really like for you to define what God is for me.
Well, he is the uncaused first cause.
The uncaused first cause.
Yeah, meaning he's separate from time and space.
So how can you be a first cause and yet not the cause? Hold on.
Actually, me being an older creationist,
Chris,
I believe in the Big Bang.
Chris, let her talk. She's trying to explain something to you so that you understand.
So it's very, very important that as you make statements, that we be able to at least zone in on them and try to figure out what you're saying, because clarification in these conversations is crucial. If we don't understand what you're saying, then we may put our own assumptions behind what you're saying, and that's definitely not what we want to do. So you're going to have to at least allow yourself to slow down a little bit so we can try to follow along. So when you say that God is an uncaused first cause, you've already lost me. So anything you say after that, I'm not listening, because I'm so caught up on what you first said. I don't understand how something can be a first cause and
not be caused.
Yeah, I know that's sort of like, who created God? Yeah, I heard
no, that's not what I said though.
No. It's a trope.
I'm saying why do you think that's a thing?
Okay, yeah, my second telephone call into the live stream program.
I really don't know why you're changing the subject. I really like to know why you think that's a thing.
Yes, when we were talking over each other, I was going into that. I believe in the Big Bang. At the Big Bang, their time is zero because
we're not talking about the Big Bang,
because all the mass of the universe is together in one point. One point. That means zero time, and the energy you needed for that, I say, is a God. The energy needed for the Big Bang is God.
Okay. When we spoke last time, it was with me and Leonard, me and Kenneth Leonard, which was a good show, by the way. If you hadn't watched this, it's on my backlog. Anyway, and you were giving this.
Oh, you know what? I'm confusing. I'm confusing. I didn't cover this with you. I covered it with the atheist, whatever it's called, heathen. Yeah,
talk heathen.
Like
yeah, we called and talked to Eric and B. Yeah,
Eric. Yeah,
we both saw that. But when we talked last, you were giving the same sort of information, and it was with me and Kenneth, and we both agreed that maybe you needed to hone in on explaining what you meant by that. Well, the same thing that Jenna is asking you now. Did you ever learn get a clearer description of what you're trying to say to us there? Was it you got into the equations about E equals MC squared, and now you're talking about zero time like you were? Did you ever put that in a syllogism that we can understand? Can you put that in a syllogism that we could understand?
Okay. Please? Yeah. Think of gravity, and they say gravity is just a ripple in time. It's not a force. Not a force. Okay. You're standing on the Earth in the middle of a field, and you walk over to a boulder though, near a foothill of a mountain. The gravity is a little bit more, just a bit more there at the boulder. Time slows down too. At more gravity at the boulder. Okay, at the Big Bang, you had this unimaginably sized all the universe down to a point.
This doesn't sound like a syllogism.
Okay.
Yeah, this is more of an analogy.
That means zero time, and the M is there. The zero time and the speed of light is there, c, but the energy is God. E equals mc squared. Actually,
so God is energy. Is that what you're saying?
Actually, you know, it's not well known, but Einstein also wrote M.
Is that what you're saying?
He wrote an M equals. Yeah, the God put the energy in to the Big Bang.
So God can't put energy into a universe if he is energy.
Well, I'll just say fair. I'm not really clear on what you said, but I'll just say fair. I'm not certain what you're saying.
So what is God? What is this that you're calling God? Is essentially where it comes down to, because everything seems to pull back to that, to you're making this claim that there's this God that has all these causes and all these effects that you know, he's putting energy into the universe. He's preserving George Washington. What is he? Or it?
Yeah, it would be a spirit form. Yes,
a spirit
form. In fact, you hear the Trinity.
Okay.
You hear Holy Spirit. So yeah, he too is the God Father is also spirit. But
I still don't know what a God is.
Okay. I said that he is in a spirit form.
So he's a spirit. So God's a spirit.
When he makes us in our own image, that doesn't mean he's corporeal. It just means maybe you know.
No, we don't need to talk about the descriptions. I'm sorry. You're saying that he is a spirit, yes or no?
Yes.
Does this spirit interact with the natural world at all?
For lack of a better term, he's a spirit, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So what
does this spirit interact with us directly? Anybody other than General Washington?
Who's to say?
That's my question.
I think at times, but overarching is free will.
So how do we know if he does? If he were to interact with something, how would I know?
Why does he? I'm not someone who watches Touched by an Angel. That's kind of, to me.
You don't have to.
We prefer if you didn't know that.
Yeah, that sounds pretty Hollywood.
But I'm getting more into.
I don't want to know what Hollywood thinks. I want to know what you think. How would I know if that spirit interacted with this planet? How could I verify that?
Okay. Yes.
I didn't ask you a yes or no question.
Yes.
I did not ask you a yes or no question. I don't know what you're saying yes to.
Okay. I'm not going to say yes, but I'm going to say there is a foundation in Hawaii. Now,
you're not answering my question.
Ivy Olsen, and her sons. Again, it would be unbiased.
Are you trying to answer my question at least?
Wouldn't be unbiased.
Is that what you're trying to do?
Angel. They met
by
an angel
speaking
on
about
Thanksgiving
this,
Day.
Are you trying to answer the question?
Yes, they met an angel on Thanksgiving Day, and this in the form of an older lady.
I don't think you're answering the question.
I just got you on mute for a second here. So what we need, and I don't mean to mute, we hardly ever mute on this channel, but we're going down an angel route now that I don't know if that really is progressing the conversation that we're trying to have here with you about your initial claim about God. So we got to let's go back to the point where you were saying that God is like a spirit, and we will move from there and kind of explain why you feel that way and what kind of influence this is, how we can verify what kind of influence that has on the world that we know. Okay, I'm gonna take you off mute now, and we're gonna go that direction.
Yeah.
You okay?
Hello.
Chris?
Oh, there was a beep. All right.
Yeah, I just wanted to mute you for a minute so we could redirect back to God, back to the God claim, or the God spirit claim.
To be fair, Jenna and I were in a subthread. Okay, I don't know if it was okay, but yeah.
So
all right.
So the question was,
Go ahead.
So the question was, if this spirit were to interact with anybody on this planet, how could I or BrainBug here verify that?
Okay, we'll go back to the battle story.
No, please answer the question.
What's the levity?
So the question, okay. I'm going to ask you one last time, and then I'm going to ask that we go on to our other caller.
I don't get.
So the question, one last time, is if there is a spirit that we are going to call God, and it were to interact with our planet at all, how could either one of us verify that? How can we make sure that that is a spirit interacting rather than something that is natural?
Okay. Hi, Jenna.
Hi.
Yeah, let's go on with the fact that it would be mathematically impossible that this closer range rifles, even muskets,
I don't think he's answering.
Okay,
accurate.
That doesn't.
And here is the answer. Here's the answer that you wanted. Please.
This is back to George Washington thing. We need to establish it to God that
there's two written sources.
I don't know. I don't want to hear sources about George Washington. I would like to know if this. Sorry, I really don't want to.
That Washington had bullets all down his coat, just
Chris,
outside.
No,
Chris, we're gonna have to go on to the next caller. We're getting kind of on a tangent. We get that you want to talk about the George Washington thing, but we need to establish, if you're going to say that God was interfering, we need to establish that first.
We'd like to understand. We're trying really hard to understand, but we just have to start from square one. We can't start talking about the icing on the cake if we can't verify that there's even a cake.
Right. Yeah.